Hello there, a very good evening to you indeed, and many thanks for joining us here on Rwanda Television News. We do hope you had yourselves a great and productive day. This is what makes our top stories. The local investors in the sector of mining and quarrying find that having a laboratory that evaluates the quality and a quantity of minerals is one of the ways to increase the production of those minerals that are exported to the international market.
Residents of the Gitega sector near the Mhazi River are pleased with the infrastructure being built in the area, including new roads and modern houses that have changed the appearance of the neighborhood.
Great evening to you, and many thanks for joining us again on Rwanda Television News. My name is Sam Kalisa.
And mine, Martina Ebera.
How are you doing, Martina, this evening?
Very good. Ready for the news today. How are you?
Very, very good and ready as well.
Okay.
Yes, so we'll start it off on the local scene as always, as we inform you that President Paul Kagame on Thursday welcomed a high-level delegation from LG Corporation led by the company's chairman and CEO Kwang Mo-ku for a pivotal meeting at a village Urugwiro. The discussions between the Rwandan government and LG Corporation revolved around prospects for potential partnerships in key sectors, particularly education, technology, development, and consumer electronics. LG Corporation is a South Korean multinational conglomerate founded by Ko In-hao and continually managed by successive generations of his family. The company is known for its diverse portfolio in encompassing electronics, chemicals, and telecommunication products. LG Corporation operates a range of well-established subsidiaries, including LG Electronics, Zenith, LG Display, LG Unplug, LG Innotech, LG Chem, LG Household and Healthcare, LG CNS, LG G2R, HS Ad, and LG Energy Solutions. These operations extend across more than 80 countries worldwide. The company's global presence is reflected in its annual revenue. As per 2023, data of the country's total revenue stood at 63 billion US dollars, equivalent to more than 77 trillion Rwandan francs. Over to you, Martina.
Yeah, the local investors in the sector of mining and quarrying find that having a laboratory that evaluates the quality and quantity of minerals is one of the ways to increase the production of those minerals that are exported to the international market. We have more on this report.
Mustabe Alain is an assistant chief chemist of one of the international companies that provides a professional inspection and analysis of minerals that operates in Kigali, Rwanda. As our trained chemist, she describes the long process required to achieve the desired quality and quantity of some of the minerals.
This machine provides the results from those minerals, including those of identifying the mineral. In the meantime, it can also be used in research before extraction, as you can see that it's connected to that desktop, which helps it to receive the command which it has to immediately produce all those from your command automatically.
However, the cost of such inspection and analysis is also high and is considered as a heavy burden for the local investors in this sector of mining.
The international market, we know in the market of minerals, we know Alfred Knight, and we know also Alex Tutwat. We used before to work with Alfred Knight, but unfortunately they left some years ago. But after Alex Tutwat came in, and for now we are working with Alex Tutwat, which is not bad, but very expensive. Because you know the single market, when it comes to make analysis for an export.
During a work visit of the senators in the Committee on Economic Development and Finance, inspected the operations and series of the mineral extraction. Here they shown the need for technological methods that will be used to increase and improve the quality and the production of these minerals.
icyo dushaka rero nkuko nawe ubivuze ari nacyo Rwanda Mining Board yifuza.
What we want is to not lose any of the mineral products due to that traditional extraction used by some. What we want them to do is to use this technology, which will help in extraction and analysis of minerals, hence to increase the value.
So far, the government of Rwanda has built a national laboratory that will be used to test, inspect, and certify the quality of internal or external minerals.
The first thing, it will be really very fast to get the result, because even today, when we are using Alex Tutwat, results are sometimes coming very, taking time and also very expensive. Because they are really on high demand, but for the one for the government one, I think it will be working 24 hours and also more wide to make analysis for all the quantities needed. So that, and also we hope that it will not be expensive as Alex Tutwat is today.
Ivan Twagirishema, the Deputy CEO of Rwanda Mines, Gas and Petroleum Board, affirms that this laboratory will be used to measure and conduct in-depth research on the minerals. In extraction, we find various kinds of minerals, since you can't extract anywhere and find only one kind of mineral. So when we have such a laboratory, it helps, since you find that most of the time, the local investors sometimes sells a mineral which consists of other kinds of minerals. The National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda recently announced the contribution of mining and quarrying activities, which has increased by 7% in the gross domestic product, Q2 of this year. Adams Kwizera, RTV News.
Thank you, Adams. To the Rwandan Parliament, the plenary session of the Chamber of Deputies approved the basis of the bill regulating the transfer of public property to private owners, also known as privatization. MPs expressed the need to improve the program's policy to be revised, as in the past it has resulted to loss and delay in service delivery. We have the report.
MPs highlighted examples of public projects that were transferred to private individuals but resulted to less compared to what was expected. Thus, the need for revising the policies. For example, Onatracom was put under private management, but it failed. Another example is Sonara, that was put under private management of foreigners, but it failed as well. Yet the people in charge were there. We should deeply assess the policies for privatization and expected results. We should know the regulation of these companies. For example, transport companies invest their money in other things. This is why our citizens lack mobility means. The Minister of State in charge of privatization in the Ministry of Finance and Economic Planning, Munyeshuri Janine, noted that the new bill will close the existing gaps. Your complaints make sense, because indeed there are public companies that were privatized that have a lot of governance issues. I will take your complaints as feedback and constructive criticism for my work. The bill provides for the existence of an expert team in charge of approving the privatization of a public property, and the team will be selected from various public institutions.
Residents of the Gitega sector near the Mhazi River are pleased with the infrastructure being built in the area, including new roads and modern houses that have changed the appearance of the neighborhood. This is being done while adequately taking into account relocating the people. Olive Nete with more.
In Gitega sector, Akabahizi Cell, a place formerly recognized to be high-risk zone, is currently being renovated. And these renovations are living proof that the urban development project can be a success in other various areas where there are still high-risk zones. This was a place with inappropriate settlements, but now you can see that there are beautiful homes. Roads are being established. The place is really being renovated into a beautiful one. The difference is that we are living in new and well-built homes. To be honest, nobody is complaining that they have a small house or that the house is not well built. In fact, we are happy because these houses are big. For example, I live in a house with 4 rooms and a living room, and all of the homes on this floor have 4 rooms, and we have also been provided with homes to rent. A 74-year-old man who goes by the name of Ndeme Jean Bosco has been living in this place since he was 19 years of age. He says that it is a wonderful delight to observe the changes that have been made in the area comparing to how it was before.
Now it is different because the money I used to get from the rent is different from what I'm currently getting. I get a lot of money from rent nowadays.
High-risk zones are still present in the vicinity of the multi-story buildings that have been built, but the majority of the residents say that there have been already valuation of properties. Muneza Grace, who owns a house in the place, says she's ready to adapt to the new modern housing. Additional to this, such houses shouldn't be in Kigali city. Look at these homes. They are not really convenient to the city. I would also love to relocate because this place is not appropriate at all. It is very hard to clean the place and I cannot even renovate it. We also want to relocate from this place. The construction of modern houses goes hand in hand with the establishment of other infrastructures such as roads and others. In this place, there were 27 households before being renovated, but now the model village is occupied by 93 families. The program of developing urban settlements is among infrastructure projects currently being implemented in Kigali city. Olive Nete, RTV News.
Thank you, Olive. On Thursday in Kigali city, a policy dialogue on social protection was held to reflect on key policy innovations, mainly the national strategy for sustainable graduation out of poverty, categorical grants, and shock responsive initiatives. The dialogue brought together ministers, heads of government agencies, and institutions involved in social protection, as well as development partners. The Rwandan Minister of Local Government, Jean-Claude Musabyimana, states that to address challenges that are still hindering citizens, policymakers are to make initiatives and policies that are more effective.
Today, we are challenged when meeting needs at scale. Today, the VUP reaches 10% of the eligible population, and that is a big challenge. We have to confront emerging issues such as climate shocks, which affect poor households and test the resilience of households out of poverty. Honorable Ministers, Excellencies, ladies and gentlemen, as we confront these challenges, we need to come up with innovative policies and strategies that are pro-poor, that will address the current and emerging challenges, but also address the needs of the future generation.
And the Deputy Director of Cooperation at the Germany Embassy in Kigali, Rwanda, demonstrates that the government of Rwanda has done a lot in initiating these policies, and as partners, it is their role to prioritize key challenges to address and support the government in their implementation.
Protection is one of the key focuses, but also decentralization, enabling the local governments, especially the districts, to be able to deploy their own projects and empower them and strengthen their capacities to implement their own projects. Also some other intervention aim on working together with civil society, helping victims from SGBV, for example. That's our main interventions. What we, of course, in the main construct try to achieve is, of course, to reduce poverty, as it's from the German government, especially the Federal Ministry of Development Cooperation, is one of our key priorities of our current administration, to leave no one behind, and we believe that through investing in social protection, we can reduce poverty and respond to the latest shocks in the market, which affects the poorest people the most.
What is the impact of your support, and what do you aim at achieving? And the 2017 report of the National Institute of Statistics of Rwanda demonstrated that the poverty rate was at 38%, while those in critical condition are at 16% rate from 24% in 2015. This was mostly due to the programs like Girinka and VUP, among others.
The Rwanda Standards Board on Thursday certified the Rwanda Fertilizers Company with a standards recognition. The Ministry of Trade and Industry demonstrates that for the fertilizer made in Rwanda to be standard recognized and certified, it will contribute to the reduction in prices of agricultural products. Prince Manzi with more.
The Rwanda Fertilizers Company is certified with a standard mark after an inspection on the quality of equipment and products to be produced, as the fertilizer industry is expected to be completed this year. This industry is expected to contribute highly to the Rwandan agricultural sector. We expect that it will be completed this year, with the capacity of producing 100,000 tons of fertilizers annually. This will contribute to the scarcity of fertilizers that is currently witnessed.
From 2021,
the Director General of the Rwanda Standards Board, Raymond Murenzi, states that for this industry to have been certified, it means a lot to the agricultural sector. In the country, we used to import the fertilizers we need, so to certify this is a milestone. When we say that it is standardized, we mean that all the requirements checked were met and aligned with. So it is a great step that this fertilizer will be distributed to the citizens and with quality. The Minister of Trade and Industry, Dr. Jean Chrysostome Ngabitsinze, demonstrates that the locally manufactured quality fertilizer will contribute to the reduction in prices of agricultural products. The change is possible because the issue currently is the lack of enough fertilizer. But since it will be locally produced and in a greater quantity, it will increase the produce, and if the produce is there, it is automatic that the price decreases. On Thursday, Rwanda celebrated the World Standards Day under the theme Standards for Sufficient and Healthy Food Towards Sustainable Socio-Economic Development. Prince Manzi, RwandaTV News.
Thank you, Prince. Moving ahead, at the ongoing annual gathering of the AfriLabs being held here in Kigali, Rwanda, discussions are focusing on accelerating Africa's digital economy. In a conversation with Anne Alawi, the Managing Director of Africa Impact, a philanthropy venture capital organization, she sheds light on funding gaps and investment opportunities in African technology and innovation ecosystem.
Investment in tech and innovation, what are the existing gaps in funding gaps and in the African technology and innovation ecosystem?
I think let me look at this from an angle of what is holding businesses back from unlocking capital. There are various different types of capital that exist in any tech or any innovation ecosystem. In African ecosystem, we have different diverse businesses. It's important and imperative for business to know that there are different type of funding. And it's good for you to know what type of funding you're looking for so that then you position yourself towards the funding that exists. So what are the gaps that exist? Lack of proper information and understanding of funding landscape and what you need to put in place for you to unlock funding. That is the biggest gap. Secondly, you have to crack a business model meant for the sector and the industry that you are building a business in. And this is important because it must address a problem. Most of the time, an entrepreneur builds a business because it's built to build. You must build a business that is addressing a market need, and it has a market that can scale. If you do those two, then it's easy for you then to position yourself for funding, regardless of what kind of classification of funding you're looking for, at what level. You must have a business that can demonstrate growth, can demonstrate ability to scale, and infrastructure or structure to grow as a company. But those are the key challenges. I didn't want to start with money, but the money is the biggest that everybody will tell you they need. But when you sit down and crack down and see where the business is, it end up being other things like I mentioned, and money is the last thing, because if you have the rest of the things sorted out, then the money will be your last, it will be the easiest thing to be able to unlock.
So we started by challenges, but then there are also opportunities. So what are the potential investment opportunities within the startup ecosystem?
Fantastic. Let me start with market opportunities. And why do I say that? Africa is fronted to be the next emerging big market come 2050. And in this, Africa will have 2.5 billion people. That means the biggest population for young people will be in Africa. That means there is enormous markets for any product or services that we can build in Africa. I think that's the biggest opportunities that we have. So untapped market, how do you build businesses that can scale cross-border across the continent? I think that is very important for us to think. Let's not think beyond our countries and small population that we have in our countries. How do you build businesses that can scale across borders?
And from this we come to the end of our tonight's edition. On behalf of the entire news production as well as the technical team, many thanks for being with us. My name always stays Sam Kalisa.
And mine, Martina Aveda.
We'll say up until next time.
Stay safe.
And have a great evening.